Welcome to the Positive Property Show. So today, me and my dear friend Belinda, I'm going to talk property. Just to give you the concept of where we are. We're in Barcelona in Spain. I've decided to take two of my top team members, actually I've got three of my team members here in Barcelona with me right now. Got Christina, my wife, Belinda, and also got Najib, my good friend, and his partner Danny, which is great. So it's awesome.
Absolutely.
So, and Danny. So look, what I thought I'd do is have a nice, honest, down-to-earth fireside chat without the fire. Just imagine me sitting by a fire, bit of rumbling in the background, people walking around here in Barcelona. It's probably 8 o'clock now, so people are starting to wake up out of the siesta and get ready to eat. And we're going to talk property because I think this is important. So the number one thing is, this is my view. My view is, if you haven't replaced your income through property, that should be your number one goal, right? I don't care if you want to start a business, you want to start a charity, you want to improve your health, you want to go on holidays with your family, everything, and I mean everything in your life that you want can be created through a property portfolio.
100% agreed.
Yep.
Absolutely. But see, you've got to realize a lot of people, it's that first step is the hardest.
Well, look, most people out there, you know what they're thinking? They're thinking, where do I start? They're overwhelmed to go, where do I start? Who do I trust? Who do I trust? That's the question they're saying, right? And the fact of it is, what needs to happen is, to learn who to trust, you need to educate yourself.
Correct. There's so much information out there. And there's so many different strategies as well.
Yes, and look, there's a lot of people out there collecting strategies. They're like, oh, flipping, that's going to be great. Let's do a course on that.
Yep.
Then they're looking at what else are they doing? Tell me.
NDIS.
NDIS, they're doing developments, they're looking at doing multiple rooms, they're doing all sorts of
Big
stuff.
developments.
And you know what, funny enough, I did a lot of stuff from the beginning like that and did all these different strategies. And the fact of it is, how many strategies do you need to be successful? One. But it has to be a good one, right? So if you're going to choose one, if you're going to do something, do the best one. You know, imagine I wanted to go to Paris tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I've got choices. I can get a V-dub, I can get a bike, I can get a moped, I can catch a bus, I can catch a train, or I can go hire a Ferrari. Now, they're all different strategies of getting there.
Correct.
Or I could outsource it and get on a plane. Now, what's the best way to get there? If you want to get there quickly, the plane.
Absolutely.
What's the best way to get there if we want a good scenery? The Ferrari. Like the moped's probably going to be pretty shit going to Paris. But the thing is, people think that more strategy is better. Now, there's no use me renting a Ferrari, buying an airplane ticket, getting a bus ticket and everything else because I can only use one of them. And the typical person can only use one strategy.
That's
And
right.
collecting strategies is just an excuse of people wanting to postpone making a decision because they're scared they may be wrong.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Well, the biggest scare factor is the failure and losing money.
yes,
100%.
failure is a big scare factor. Now, if you want to avoid failure, find people that have failed and overcome their failures.
Yes.
Right? Because I've failed multiple times. I've tried renting multiple properties. I've tried renos. I've tried developments. I've tried everything. Right?
Everything.
And then I came across the Markoski method, which is a very simple method that helps people get 10 properties, helps people accumulate a massive property portfolio, 10 properties in 10 years.
That's right.
We've got some people in our program that have got over 20 properties now.
That's right.
We've got quite a few actually coming to our workshop that are retiring. And what happens is when you start in our program, you start with a white belt
That's right.
because you're the grasshopper and I'm the master. And what happens is we educate you, we teach you. And as we teach you, you grow, and then you get your first property, get a yellow belt, and then you work hard, get your next one, which is orange.
Yep.
Then after orange, you get your blue belt
And you work through all the colours.
until you get your black belt. Now, when you get your black belt, that's when you got 10 properties. That's when you're earning serious money. Because when you've got 10 properties, you're earning roughly around $250,000 per year without getting out of bed.
Passive income. That's
Right.
what it's all about.
250,000 with 1,000, because a lot of people go, what? 250,000? Really? Right. Imagine getting your equity and now investing $100 a week for the next 3 or 4 years, which is $5,000 a year. So let's say 20 grand, and your equity, and then in 10 years' time having $5 million and $250,000 for passive income. If I said that, you'd be going, no way.
Can't be done.
But it's a fact, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's a fact.
It's a fact. The fact of it is, I've done it myself.
Well, not
I've helped
only,
other people,
not
but
only
I've helped
have you done
thousands
it,
of people do
we've
it.
helped thousands of people and members to achieve exactly the same results.
That's right. That's right. So the biggest thing holding people back is fear.
Fear factor.
You know what fear is? My friend and mentor, Anthony Robbins, he says fear is false expectations appearing real. So what happens is people think about investing in property and they go, shit, overwhelmed, too hard. Then they feel bad they haven't invested. They've missed the boat and everyone else is making money. And what happens is every time the news goes, oh, property price booming, they boomed, everyone gets really negative and goes, oh shit, I missed out. And then these people secretly, when the media goes, property prices are going to crash, they secretly get happy.
Yes.
Right? They're thinking, great, we didn't miss out, and all those arseholes that made money are going to lose money. The fact of it is, it's not true.
Not
right?
true.
The media says it's going to crash. I've been investing for 30 years. I've never lost money. Not 1 year. Never, ever lost money.
That's
Right?
right.
None of our clients have lost money. We've got thousands of clients. That's all media hype. And then people go, oh, thank God, I missed out, but everyone's losing money. I'm fine. Right? But really, it's an excuse.
Absolutely.
It's an excuse to be mediocre. Right? You want to be mediocre, you're going to get mediocre results.
That's
right?
really
You're
what
going to
it
be
comes down
average.
to.
Now, why does 1% of the world's population own and control 90% of the wealth? Because they're not mediocre. And maybe some are born rich, silver spoon, there's no doubt.
Yep.
But 90% of millionaires are self-made.
That's right.
So you can rejoice in the fact that if you weren't born with a silver spoon, weren't born a billionaire, if you're not Elon Musk's love child, well, guess what? I've got some good news. 90% of people that made it rich did it themselves. I'm one of those people. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I actually came from a family that struggled to make ends meet.
That's right.
Right? So, and the fact of it is, I mean, everything in my life I had to earn myself. My father worked at Holden's. My mum worked in a chicken processing plant. And times are tough.
That's
right?
right.
But I knew that it was up to me. Because I knew I wasn't going to retire. I wasn't going to inherit a fortune. I wasn't going to become a billionaire. I needed to do it myself.
That's right.
Right? So if you're watching this and if you're not Elon Musk's love child or someone like that, you need property to get there.
Absolutely.
There are people who say, oh, what about shares? What about crypto? Blah, 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 blah. Bitcoin, right? Look, as far as I'm concerned, shares is an organized casino. Right? Tell me other stuff that people want. Bitcoin's gambling, right? Bitcoin's gambling, right? It's not even real.
Shares are one of those things that unless you really understand the market.
No, but even if you understand the market, unless you've got billions of dollars behind you, it's going to be hard because
Exactly.
they manipulate the market. The problem is people get confused between soft assets and hard assets, right?
That's the biggest thing. People.
Rule number 1, do not lose any money.
Yeah.
That's the rule we're going to follow. If you want to follow rule number 1, follow rule number 2, only invest in hard assets.
That's right.
Done. Finished. That's all you need. Thank you.
You've got to realise as well, there's so many people out there looking for that get rich quick scheme, and it just doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work.
Look, the problem is
It's the slow and steady that wins the race.
I'll tell you what the problem with soft assets is. All right? Hard assets are real. And because hard assets are real, there's no lobby, there's no big business that benefits out of that. So no one promotes hard assets like property.
Yeah, that's it.
Soft assets, there's lots of money to be made in selling soft assets and teach people how to buy soft assets. That's where the money is. So that's why you get inundated with this sort of stuff. But the real money, if you are just an average person, not a billionaire, is to be made in property.
That's right. And your first real investment is actually in yourself.
That's the number one
Getting
investment.
educated.
Exactly. Because the schools don't teach you this. This is the thing.
They don't want you to know this stuff.
Look, the schools, they don't teach you how to open a bank account, how to get finance, how to get a job,
Actually,
how to go for an interview,
they don't want you to know this
or
stuff.
or how to invest in property. They don't teach you that.
I feel like they've been brainwashing us since we've gone to school. Go to school, get
Well-
a job,
Well,
get a big deposit, put it
you
down.
understand why school was invented. You can hear the bells in the background here in Barcelona, and it's a beautiful thing. Schools were invented to teach people how to become factory workers.
That's right.
So if you want to be a factory worker, go to school.
Bell for recess, a bell for lunch,
Exactly.
and a bell to go home to work.
And then back at the factory, same thing, a little whistle, morning tea,
That's right.
smoko break.
Same deal, different day.
So what are some of the questions that people ask you when it comes to investing in property?
Okay, so one of the most questions that people ask is, I'm not sure, can we really do this?
Yep.
Can I do this?
Can you do this? That's a good question, right? Now, the fact of it is, we've done it. I've done it myself. You've done it.
I've done it.
I've helped thousands of people do it. I'm helping thousands of people currently do it. Week in, week out. Yeah. We get 5 or 10 new people coming and joining every week, and I'm helping them. When it comes to helping people invest in property, that's the one skill that I've got nailed. And because we've done it, me and my team have done it so often that we can do it blindfolded and in the dark.
Absolutely.
Because we've done it so often. We've systemized the whole thing.
The whole thing.
It's not like getting a parachute and jumping off a cliff. What it is, it's a nice little stairway. We step each step, one step at a time, and
absolutely.
you get there safely.
We have
Yes.
an actual 12-step process.
That's right. And the
12
thing
steps.
is, each step of the way, we actually get a different expert to come and help you.
That's right. You know, and you
We-
get a team of coaches.
Now, we're not going to look good if you join the program and don't succeed, right? Out of people that have joined our program and have done the work, we've got a 98 success rate. Okay?
Yes.
There's 2% of people. You know why?
Why?
They get divorced or they go bankrupt. We can't help them then, right?
And that
So,
happened
so
before
one
we
out of
even
100, one out of, or sometimes, no, in between. So what happens is 1% of people get divorced, the other 1% go bankrupt, and those people don't succeed. But if you get divorced and bankrupt, you're probably not going to succeed at a lot of stuff. So you need to just start again. But
right.
those people I can't help. Sorry, guys. Obviously, only divorced at the time. A lot of people get divorced and come join our program.
That's right.
And then buy multiple properties. We have a lot of women that do that, and then buy multiple properties just to say to their ex-partner, up yours.
Yeah, that's it.
They come in and go, oh, my partner didn't want to invest in property. We didn't have the courage. Now I'm going to do it and show him.
Yeah.
And they're very determined.
Yes, absolutely.
I find a lot of women are driving the family
I can definitely tell you, these days, it's mostly a good 70-80% is actually the women, the wives,
Yep.
driving the whole project.
Yes, so 20 years ago when I started coaching, it was all men. And every now and again you get a woman, right, that would join. And the women were going, oh, it's too risky, I don't want to do it. And the men would go, I want to make some money. What I've seen a whole complete swing where now the women
100%.
are dragging their husbands, kicking and screaming to invest in
Absolutely.
property. And because you know what? Women don't want to put up with a mediocre husband anymore.
That's right.
They're not willing, they used to 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
now they're like, create passive income or get out.
And we're seeing it every day. And the funny thing is, even when women go out there and the wives and the mothers go out there and do it themselves and they start getting results, guess who comes on board?
Yeah, the
husband.
Yeah.
So they lead by example.
I really feel that our program empowers people in general, but especially women.
Correct. Absolutely. 100%.
And funny enough, most of our staff, 90% of our staff are female.
Female.
And I haven't done that on purpose, by the way. I don't care. I don't care if people are male or female. Just looking for the right team. Can I do it? Let me finish this quickly. Can I do it?
Can you do it?
Look,
Can I do it?
the best chance of doing it and succeeding,
Maybe saying the best chance of investing in property.
the best chance of investing in property and succeeding is getting someone that's actually not just someone that's invested and succeeded, because there's lots of people that have done that. People that invested and succeeded and then helped other people invest and succeed over and over again, right? It's a bit like this. If you're looking at going parachuting, right? Let's say you wanted to go parachuting, you get on Google.
Skydiving.
Yeah, skydiving, that's it. Sorry, skydiving, right?
Go skydiving.
Yeah, that's better. If you were thinking about going skydiving, you wouldn't go on Google and go, Google, what's the cheapest skydiving around here? Would you?
No.
No. You'd probably, what would you Google?
You'd probably do a bit of research.
You'd Google,
And
one,
find out-
have they successfully done it before?
Absolutely.
Have they,
What's their success rate?
yes, has anyone died?
How long have they been doing it? What's their experience?
That's right. So if you're going to get a property coach, think about skydiving. Get someone who's got the results.
And even if you have to do your due diligence, I mean, it's the same with anything.
Well, that's part of the reason we invented the 14-day, what is it called?
14-day.
The 14-day challenge. 1, 2, 3. 14-day challenge. Yes, that's why I invented that. So people can come in for 14 days and experience what it's like.
Yeah, it's like a test drive of the whole program.
What do people say about the challenge?
They love the challenge. Actually, if you go on our website, we've got some great testimonials. Because sometimes you might need to just dab your toe in the bathwater a bit and just really sit in the driver's seat without actually buying property, but going through all the steps. What
Look,
a great way to learn.
We've had 3,000 people do the challenge. It's a 100% money back guarantee. I've had less than 5 people ask their money back. And you know what? They didn't do anything.
They didn't. The
But
reason
that's
why
okay.
they won't
But
their
I
money
don't care. I
back
don't care though.
is because they didn't actually do
But
anything.
I don't. I do 100% money back guarantee because I don't want to. If someone doesn't get a use out of it, no point. Because I don't make money out of the challenge. The challenge is there to help people decide. Do you want to do work with us? Don't you? It's like a little test drive, like taking a puppy home for the weekend.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. So the one thing people don't realise, and this is where people really miss the boat, a thing called opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost. Let's delve into that.
Well,
Let's deep dive.
funny enough, I posted this in the group the other day and said, you know, if you didn't join Positive Property, where would you be right now?
Aha, good
And
question.
then we got a lot of comments.
Yes.
And there was people have made millions, right? So most people would have been worse off $300,000-$400,000 in the first 12 months. A lot of people said, well, you know, I got $80,000 tax deductions. I made $200,000 on this. I made $100,000 on that property. I got 2 properties. So the opportunity cost would have been huge.
Yep.
And that's one thing people need to be mindful of
Yep.
when you look at opportunity.
Yep.
The thing is, though, I mean, we've structured the program so well that we're not the cheapest, okay? Because you're not the cheapest skydiving instructor. However, we're better than not the cheapest. We're the best value.
Best value
Our
for money.
program costs nothing.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Costs nothing.
Perfect.
I've decided 0. Not 0 price, but it costs you nothing. You're going to make more than what you spend in the first 12 months.
More than the return on investment.
Yeah, it's an investment. It's not a cost.
Correct. Absolutely.
A lot of people get lost in deserts, forests, places like that when they go places, right? And the rule is, if you get lost, don't leave where you are, because it's easy for them to find you because they might find where you were. And always, if you're going to go hiking or go trekking, you let someone know where you're going to be and what time you expect to come back. And I don't know if you've seen that movie about that guy who gets his arm caught and has to chop off his own arm with a little blade. It's terrible. But the thing is, when people get lost, what happens is they try to find the way out, and they invariably do this. They start walking, and then they end up walking around in circle after circle after circle. This happens to everyone
Yes.
without a compass. And they end up lost in a circle. Bit like people trying to invest in property. They just sit there and just go around in circles, getting information, getting more, getting excited, getting disappointed, and just the circle goes on.
Yes.
And what you really need is to take that blindfold off and really get a guide and a path. And if there was a path there, just walk along that path.
Correct.
And that's what we do for people. Help them with the path to success. There's a guy called Nick Halleck.
The trillionaire.
So this guy actually paid to go and have lunch in Titanic.
In the submarine.
Yeah, in the submarine, right? That's how rich he is. And he lives to tell the tale because he didn't die, luckily. Not like what happened with the sub recently, which is very sad. So he was living in Florida in the same building as David Beckham, right?
Yes.
And he had houses all around the world, and he was living the life, a good life. He was younger than me,
He was called the Thrillionaire, wasn't
Yes,
he?
that's right. Had a lot of
Trillionaire.
thrills. So I thought, stuff it, I'm going to America because I had all these properties and I wasn't making any money, I was losing money. And I wanted to find out how he did it. Because I thought, you know what? First thing I'm going to do is ignore everyone else giving advice on property. Because they're all super salesy and they didn't have the runs on the board.
Correct.
Number two, I decided to find people real life results. I wanted to look at someone and go, that's the lifestyle I want. I don't want to go somewhere, some guy's in a suit going, I'll teach you how to retire. But he's in a suit and 5 days a week he's in an office.
Correct.
Not what I wanted to learn.
Working till sometimes 10 at night.
Yeah.
Forget it.
I wanted this guy's lifestyle where he's having pina coladas,
And apple martinis.
apple martinis actually. So anyway, so I booked my flights. I email him and I go, Nick, I'm coming to Florida. Let's catch up for coffee while I'm there.
Perfect.
So he goes, yep, cool. So anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm flying this way. I'm spending my last money. I've got no money left because I invested all in property and they're all shit properties. I really got to make this work and find out how he did it.
Perfect.
So I turned coffee into cocktails. Because
Yes.
obviously cocktails work better. We end up at this beautiful bar overlooking the water and all the tiles were actually coloured lights.
Wow. Fantastic. Love
The
it.
bar was just made out of glass, classy place. Walking in, I'm thinking, this is going to be expensive, right?
Yes.
You can just tell, right?
Absolutely.
So we walk in and he goes, I'll have an apple martini. What are you having? I go, apple martini. I'm thinking, if the Trillionaire's having apple martinis, I'm going to have apple martinis. You know, if he's got a funny walk, I'll have a funny walk.
Do whatever it takes.
That's what Jim Rohn says. What did Jim Rohn say?
Jim Rohn says exactly that.
Right? Emulate people that are more successful than you.
Correct.
Model them.
Model them.
He was the original. Jim Rohn was the original
He was
motivator.
the original
He taught Anthony
motivator.
Robbins.
Yep. Absolutely. he
I
did.
met him actually.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, apple martini. He orders another one. We have our third one. And I'm thinking, I better buy an apple martini as well. So I go, I'll have 2 apple martinis. Give her a $100 note, American dollars, which is $200 Australian.
American
I go, keep the
dollars.
change. She's like, that will be 120. Thank you for the tip as well. I'm like, wow, here's everything I've got. 2 apple martinis, done. I better learn really fast off Nick. I had my credit card, but no cash because I hadn't changed anything. So anyway, we spent 4 days together, having dinners, lunches, hanging out. It's a great guy. And also
Fantastic.
I taught him NLP. So we had that rapport there.
What a great opportunity.
And I said, Nick, tell me everything. And he was an open book.
Yep.
And he said, look, this is the real way of doing it. So what happened was his way of getting the tax deductions and the structuring worked really well.
Yes.
And then I found the top 200 as well. So what I did is I stitched together 3 or
kind of
4.
got little nippets and
Yes,
bits from
I got the
everywhere.
best. I got the best of 4 or
all the
5
different mentors
and
you
created my
had.
own path. And that
Yeah,
was the
right.
Markoski method. But basically, what the Markoski method is buying. There's 15,000 suburbs in Australia,
Correct.
give or take. Out of those suburbs, certain percentage are going up, certain percentage are going down, and some are just sitting there doing nothing most of the time. And what we want to do is we want the cream of the cream that rises to the top, because they're going to outperform everything else.
Always. Yeah, absolutely.
And I've done the algorithm and run it back, the numbers backwards. And this beats the market, beats the experts by 20%. The experts beat the market. This beats the experts. So it's miles ahead.
Yeah.
And that's what allowed me to have super massive growth in a short period of time,
Yes.
right? Which is very exciting. And the thing is now we're using AI to do this for us.
Yeah.
And AI is even better at modeling. I've done the numbers and AI is doing 35% better, not 20% better than the experts,
Yes, absolutely.
which is great. So our top 200 has been fine-tuned, it works even better.
Yeah.
So really at the end of the day, you buy the top 200, that means that property is going to double 7 or 10 years
That's right.
or 12 years because we don't have a crystal ball.
That's right.
But, you know, the past sometimes is like the future. You know, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes.
Yes.
That's
like
what
that
Mark Twain said.
Mark Twain.
Very smart man.
Yes.
So once you've got the right property, then it's just getting the right structure. Because if you don't structure right, you're going to be losing $400, $500 a week on a property.
Look, at the end of the day, anyone can buy dirt.
Anyone can buy dirt.
Whether it makes money is a whole nother thing.
Exactly.
You've got to have the right structure behind it, and you
Yep.
need the right property.
And then I got hold of the cash flow calculator,
Cash flow calculator.
right? And I fine tuned it. And now this cash flow calculator, you plug in the numbers and it gives you your weekly costs.
That's right.
And then the decision's easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about where's the property, because we've already done that. You don't have to think about what interest rate, what bank, am I paying mortgage insurance, none of that. All we're going to do is look at that number, that weekly number,
Yep.
and it's a simple yes or no.